Major 2018 SEA Qualifiers, Game 3 of Execration versus Fnatic. So as you know, it's 1-1, and we are straight into the draft. Basically pure casting, and joining me once again is Lumi. Lumi, any adjustments you want to see from either team going into this game?
We talked about Fnatic's final picks, so I felt like I think you said maybe you don't need to go outside the box. I won't say they're just straight up experimenting, because I feel like they do have good reasons for making these picks, but maybe going back for comfort picks is a better idea, working out a little bit better for them. We'll see.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
definitely an option. So Fnatic did opt for first overall pick this game, and I guess that means Execration took Radiant. So we'll see how that ends up panning out. Execration do have the last pick. I feel like we've seen... Part of it has been the matchups, but I feel like we have seen Carl struggle against Abed a little bit in lane. So I am hoping that they're going to be giving him just a favorable matchup, make sure that they give him the appropriate amount of help, and we'll see what else happens beyond that. The Tiny's going to get banned out this game. Fnatic showing some respect to it. The Doom might make it through if Execration don't ban it. So we'll see if Fnatic are willing to take it away from them, because they have not opted to ban it this game.
5 seconds remaining.
But they did also have the, they pulled out the Wraith King against the early Doom pick in the first game. So maybe the Doom is just something that they're willing to let Execration have, and they feel like they have answers up their sleeve.
Also, I really haven't seen Ohio play Doom, so I just don't know if they're a Doom team in the first place.
Remaining.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what this first pick is.
Execration's turn to pick.
All right, it's just the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah,
I like this.
This is fine.
Yeah, I think it's solid. We've seen DJ have some very good performances on it. It also lets you. It feels to me like it lets you build the rest of your draft in ways that sometimes aren't otherwise possible, because it means that your mid and your safe lane can both be pretty garbage when it comes to building damage, and you still have the ability to take pretty much every objective on the map. So Execration going to pick up a Doom and a Nyx. I am immediately worrying somewhat about whether or not they just get 5-manned, because I feel like both of these two heroes are not that amazing against 5-man lineups, especially ones that aren't that cooldown dependent, though. I mean, they've already got the Shadow Shaman, so Fnatic are going to be at the very least playing around that cooldown, but the 5-man aspect I think is still scary.
Let's see if we're gonna see that ET being picked up. They combine it together almost all the time, although ET into a Nyx might be a little bit rough. You know, your spells are very pronounced, so it would be very easy for a Nyx to use the Spy Carapace. But an early Terrorblade. So Terrorblade to me can be a very decent Doom counter. Doom has very low armor. Yeah, if you get Doom, you're in trouble. But if you could play around the Doom, once you pop the meta, once you use your Manta Style and stuff like that, he may Doom you, but you're probably going to kill a lot of people before you get taken down yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of about your position in the game and vision, and whether or not you get your spells off, like you're saying. Once you're meted, you care quite a bit less. Annoying not to be able to use your Sunder, of course, but still, it doesn't necessarily play 100% into the 5-man aspect. But the one thing that I will say is that this is 100% a comfort pick. Right? There is there's no doubt about that. Envy knows exactly what he's doing on Terrorblade, so no Ursa, no Wraith King. Though I think the Wraith King was also reasonably comfortable. It's just not something that you get to bring out as often, right, compared to a hero like TB. Okay, so I was going to mention, it doesn't quite fit with the way that their players work out, but I was going to mention Slardar for Fnatic. Maybe being a possibility. I think it's still quite good for their lineup. It's maybe a little bit greedy to have Slardar and Shaman as your two supports, because they are both kind of 4s when it comes to the farm priority. They could potentially make it work if they had Ohio on a less greedy offlaner, but I feel like that isn't necessarily his style either, so maybe not something to worry about. They do have to lay the groundwork for this Terrorblade though, banning out the Tinker. What else do you like against TB? Lumi, are you a Zeus versus TB kind of man?
I mean, I just love Zeus, but apparently nobody else loves Zeus, so
no,
feels bad.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. It's sad. All right, we're gonna see the Jakiro again. Also not terrible against the TB. The attack speed slow is annoying. The AOE is good. Gives them some more building damage, which they don't really have just yet in the lineup.
10 seconds
So they're gonna have to pick
remaining.
their carry next.
5 seconds
I guess they can get a little bit more information out of Fnatic before they do that, but we'll see what they're gonna opt for. I would guess that Fnatic just picked their 5 here, right? Oh no, alright, there you go. They are just gonna play the Slardar. So
Okay.
do you think it's still gonna be DJ Shaman and then Pi Slardar, or Pi Shaman and DJ Slardar?
I
10
think
seconds remaining.
Shaman is more easily played as a 5 than a
seconds
Slaughter.
remaining.
Yep.
I mean, they're both good with farm, but I think Slaughter is useless without farm. So
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah.
so gonna make the guess on that one, or in that order for that.
Mm-hmm. And Execration now. Okay, they need something that doesn't get completely annihilated by just getting amped and then right-clicked. I don't know what a good answer necessarily is here. At least for the safe lane. I can think of mid picks, but I don't know. Is sniper a thing?
Turn to
I
pick.
don't know. Okay, they're just gonna go for their Razor. They do like this hero a lot, but in terms of how strong it is this game, I guess we'll have to see. It is a little bit annoying for Slardar to play against, since the unstable current can
10
purge
seconds
off your
remaining.
sprint. So you can't always blink, crush,
5
amp, and then run
seconds
away.
remaining.
But I don't know. This Razor to me seems a little bit weird. I think it's just hard to get up in Terrorblade's face, right? He's not one of these melee heroes that's super susceptible to Razor, and he can quite easily buy a pike if he's really worried.
Yeah. Also, I want to say that it's very nice. Or I mean, Razor he takes a long time to get his link thing going. You could just kind of kill him before he even finishes or get off a really strong link. So I'm liking where Fnatic's at right now.
Yeah, and they
10
get even more
seconds
burst
remaining.
damage going now, as they will pick up the Shadow Fiend. So they are
5
actually.
seconds remaining.
I mean, it could still be an offlane Slaughter as well. I guess that's the one possibility that we haven't really discussed in terms of the way that Fnatic could choose to structure their lineup. I don't know what kind of gotcha pick there would be in this situation for your position 4, but it is an
Turn to
option.
ban.
But no, it looks like Execration just thinking Sardar's the 4. They're looking for the Ohio hero. Going to ban out another one of his staples in the Beastmaster. Would have been a pretty decent Beastmaster game, I think. There's no real counter initiation on Execration. Well, there's some counter initiation, but there's no save.
10
So
seconds
whoever gets
remaining.
roared and amped is just 100% gone at that point.
5 seconds remaining.
But I like the Shadow Fiend pick. I think the burst damage is going to be
Fnatic's
very good.
turn to pick.
I would guess that he just goes for the... Actually, I'm not sure. I was about to say I would guess that he just goes for the right-click build. We talked about this yesterday as well, but I feel like it's just... I'm inclined to agree with you. It's just more stable. It's more reliable. And I think when you've got the amplified damage as well, it's just
10
kind of a...
seconds remaining.
May as well just play right-click.
5 seconds remaining.
Yes and no, because your rest of your team is all right click. So
Yeah.
there is a merit of like, okay, well, let's diversify our damage a little bit. So I could see the argument of going for magic as well. It's just that I've not been impressed with the magic build in terms of how how safe it is.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you do very well with the magic build. Sometimes it has trouble kind of crossing the finishing line. With that said, though, there's so much minus armor that the physical build just makes sense.
I'm trying to think here of what we're going to be seeing from Ohio. I don't think the Underlord doesn't seem that impressive. I mean, there is some Darkseer combo potential with the Slardar. That is a reasonable 1-2 punch that they could look for, but playing Darkseer against the Nyx Assassin isn't necessarily super fun. So I guess Fnatic are probably thinking if there's some other interesting way to do things here. Maybe they're considering putting the Slardar as that 3 position and trying to figure out if they can do something maybe a little bit weird. Alright, I like this a lot, actually. Centaur versus Doom.
Oh yeah, it's quite good. If you look at the lineup for Execration, they actually just have 1 stun, 2 if you count the Spike Carapace.
Yeah.
So the ultimate is going to be pretty much full value every single
10
time.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, really good at getting away from the Razor.
5 seconds remaining.
It's also just super nice for disengaging once somebody gets doomed. I think that's the biggest value add
Sure.
that you have as Centaur against Doom. You can just reset the fight kind of at any time that you want. And for Execration, I don't know how they solve that problem. I also don't know quite how they lane against this Shadow Fiend. Did they pick like a puck? Nope. Okay.
Oh, that's how
Choose your hero.
OD. So this is an off-lane Nyx. The Yaz
Alright.
said I had enough with the Doom. Like, he's been dying a lot on the Doom, at least in
Yeah.
the laning phase.
I mean, I guess what you can... See, I don't know if you can walk up and... I'm about to say something about walking up and imprisoning the Shadow Fiend, but I just don't know if that's a thing, right? It feels like as soon as you try and step the Shadow Fiend, he just...
Yeah. We thought it was a thing yesterday when we saw this matchup, and then in actuality, you just get raised before you actually even get close enough.
As soon as you think about it, you just get raised. It's not even about... it's not even about moving towards him.
10 seconds remaining.
So I don't know about this Execration lineup.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like they are a little bit slow to come online. I think the front line is quite lacking. I think that's always a problem when you have Nyx Assassin, especially if Nyx Assassin's going to be your offlaner. He's not really a hero that's going to sit on the front lines and tank some spells and, you know, be that sort of standard position 3.
Yep.
Like the Centaur, quite easily this game, he can sit up in front, he can give scouting information to the Slardar, so the Slardar can get a good jump. I don't think Execration really have that.
Razor could kind of fill in the shoes a little bit with the
He's
kind of
gonna
the front
have to
line
be
here.
mega tanky though, right?
Yeah, I mean most Razor build tanky anyways.
Yeah.
Get the pike, get the drums, treads instead of phase, that kind of stuff. I'm more surprised, or not surprised, but just I guess surprised is the word for it. That we have Pylite die on the Slaughter, and DJ on the Shaman.
Prepare for battle.
But if you look at the cores of Fnatic, both Terrorblade, Shadow Fiend, and also to a certain extent the Centaur, they could jungle pretty efficiently. So it's not going to be surprising that Slaughter most likely will get a kind of lane to farm for his Blink. And then he goes back to like full warding, I imagine. I hope he does get the room and space to farm for a Blink, because Blinkless Slaughter for the whole game is actually useless. He's good for getting the Rosh.
You
and
can
that's
amp
it.
Rosh, yeah, that's the limit. But I can definitely see a situation where they, Pi and Ohio play together a little bit at bottom at first, and then Ohio retreats into the jungle, maybe even to farm some stacks that Pi has set up, and then Pi resumes soaking and maybe even doing some of these
30 seconds to
cheeky
battle.
offlane pulls of his own to get some farm. Could definitely happen. They are being scouted here by a Radiant Observer that was plopped down, so Execration are going to be able to push up onto the high ground here and snag 2 Bounty Runes of their own, and we can cop the first Infernal Blade of the game, but that's just mango value, baby. That's...
I mean, sure, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Doom's got mana regen as well, so it's not a huge deal. But looks like this is what Raging Potato's game plan is. Just run around with some boots and throw Infernal Blades. We'll see how it
His
works
game
out.
plan is to Inferno Blade till he hits 2. He's gonna sit in the top lane until he hits 2, and then start devouring. Oh,
Oh, meta use. DJ trying to close the
oh
gap.
my god, that's such a big value of what he did there. He took 2 hits, but that meta ain't doing jack squat. In fact, he's trying to pull. If he get blocked in
no.
here, oh no!
Raging Potato.
He doesn't
no.
even have a tango too.
Oh no! Finish him, DJ. Just don't know. All right, Envy's gonna take it. Oh, this creep, this guy right here, was the the MVP for Fnatic just then.
I mean, Raging Potato, especially back in the days where he played like off lane or mid, he would always make the most PogChamp play and then the dumb plays. He was the SEA Jackie Mao, and that was just, I don't know. And that just reminded me of those days again.
I was gonna say the SEA Demon Doto, but I mean he's also played in they've both played in SEA, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
And let me tell you, the trees did not betray Jimmy.
No, that's true. He's actually won with the trees. All right, the zoning on mid is kind of working. I mean, to the extent that Abed has 0 CS, so that's not.
It could just be that because he's Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. He's actually not able to just get the last hits against the OD, who's already got 2 nulls picked up. Pi coming in to try and help out the cause a little bit. Ohio is getting drained up, trying to steal some more creep waves, but he's got boots, so he's just going to take his couple little friends for a merry journey to go and pick up a bounty rune. Abed forced to run away. Doesn't have level 3 just yet. The crush comes out. Is he going to bother dropping raises here? No. Just going to lay down some auto attacks. Wants to conserve the mana as alright, Raging Potato's the one who manages to grab himself the arcane. And he actually got really lucky. He got the satyr.
Oh. Oh. These 2 supports. Pai's gotta be careful. Hadouken is a shockwave.
Shockwave. Alright, never mind.
He knows the shockwave won't kill. It's the one who would waste mana for it.
Alright. And yeah, he knows the Pie's going all the way back to base anyway. And he's got bigger fish to fry. I don't know if they get this killed. The shockwave doing decent amount of damage. Infernal Blade's not going to take him down. Abed popping another salve. Still only 2 CS.
The snipe. That salve got cancelled. By the way, I believe the first shockwave he used. This is a kill, right? Infernal Blade into shockwave.
So. Oh, or maybe it's a kill the other way. Oh no, Abed gets max souls in one fell swoop. We saw this the other day, Lumi, with the clockwork. Oh no.
That's just straight up Raging Potato play. Again, from PogChamp to Facepalm. Super fast.
And alright, now Abed's fine. I'm sure we're gonna start to see it. Look at this, he's crushing the OD in terms of CS, and Carl dropping pretty low. Fortunately, Abed does not have a mango or anything, so won't be able to triple raise him out of there.
Look at the CS differential, 16 and 8 on the OD. Shadow Fiend has 5.
For how long, dude? For how long?
I mean, dude, Raging Potato's coming back in. He's got the Alpha Wolf.
Alright. Carl's got the point in the orb. He's just hoping for some lucky procs on the Essence Aura. Pilot gonna take a bit more damage. Happy to soak that Infernal Blade if it means that Abed doesn't have to. Show me your procs, Carl. Show me your luck. Alright, I guess he's not going to risk it. He wants to make sure that he has enough mana to spam some more Imprisons. There's a regen rune waiting bot. He actually knows about that now. Looks like he's going to head down and grab it. Meanwhile, Pi and DJ rotating over towards mid, and Ohio going to be the one to snag the regen. Carl, cancels it, but he already got the full. And Carl's trying to make his way back to the lane. He's running right into DJ. Pi and Ohio also here. Who's going to stun first? Alright. Stun number 1, stun number 2, right click him. He pops the stick charge, he's gonna try for the TP out. I don't think there's any way he makes it. Yeah, Pi finishing him off.
That was a very, very optimistic TP out. Oh man.
And now he's gonna respawn with no TP. That's pretty sad.
Yeah, that actually was, that's the big thing there. Holy shit, he is so... Yep. Lane Dunzo.
Yep. From absolutely annihilating the Shadow Fiends to, yeah. Shadow Fiend gonna catch right back up. Uh-oh. And Pi got that last hit, so he's actually gonna get some gold now. Look at that. That's some Blink Dagger progress right there.
Dire's bottom
They are letting the
tower
Nyx
is
Assassin have a decent amount of... Well, I say a decent amount of farm, but he's actually only got 8 CS. He's been soloing against Envy for like the last 3
Dire's
minutes or something.
structures are fortified.
And it just doesn't matter at all.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The raising begins on mid. DJ wrapping around for another gank. I think Carl is it. Why is he running forward? Actually, they've got the Doom running around the corner, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. They've got the Banish. Carl going to get raised here, I would believe. Yep, now turn around, look towards Raging Potato. They're going to chase him down with
They got
Pi and
Shackle again.
DJ. Yeah, now they need Abed to come across and deal the damage. Double raise going to come through. There you go. Nice kill. Alright, and now even Ohio getting involved, can they give him a triple? You bet they can. Abed is more than caught
Shrines
up.
up.
Wait, Abed, you're just standing still? Is this the bait, or is he
He was
shopping?
shopping, he was shopping.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sometimes you see a good deal on Amazon and you gotta double
You
check,
gotta
know?
jump on it. Those flash sales. Alright.
Alright. Shrine time. I swear this is literally like the 4th or 5th south that Abed has gotten for himself.
It's worth.
Oh man.
Dire's bottom tower
Oh,
is under attack.
Envy TPing to the shrine. That's such an eternal Envy move.
Yep.
That's a real Jackie Mao. All right, just trades a bunch of hits, gets pretty low, forces out all of the offlaners' mana, and then just TPs to the shrine.
It's a true min maxer.
Yeah, he really is. It's cool to watch. I appreciate it. All right, Pi now just babysitting a little bit. Nyx Assassin does almost have his arcane boots. I don't know where exactly he's going to be able to gank with his first ultimate. I think Fnatic should be able to lock their lanes down reasonably well. So I guess we'll have to see. Raging Potato at the very least has managed to find some decent levels in this game. He's always level 4. But they are down quite a few kills. The Razor's getting farmed, he's just working on some phase boots, bunch of little items. No clear indication exactly of what his build is going to be, but Abed is already over in the jungle and he is clearing stacks.
So one thing that I really want to touch up about the draft as we move into this mid game is that Execration's draft doesn't really have too good of burst damage. Like, what's your best kind of high HP nuke, right? It's just Sanity's Eclipse.
And that takes time.
Yeah, that takes time for you to gather the int. So if the Doom doesn't go on Terrorblade, Terrorblade feels very comfortable kind of staying at even mid to low HP to get off a very good Sunder. So I feel like that's always priority number 1 is just to get off the good Doom against Terrorblade, or else your fights is going to get pretty brutal as it drags on.
Oh man. Execration trying to fight fire with fire in terms of the answers to this mid lane, right? It feels like Fnatic have been... The two supports have basically spent all of their time in the last 4 minutes or so camping mid. Nando does manage to take out the tier 1 tower down at bottom, so the Rays are getting pretty big, but this first Nyx Assassin Vendetta gank, is this going to work out is the question. Sees Pi on mid, Abed's just retreating all the way back into the jungle. Oh, Nando broken.
Making a little dive here again. Nando, not only has he taken the tier 1 tower, look at his level. Level 8 compared to level 5 on Ohio.
Yeah, he's really pushing the full advantage down here. He's going to be going for a hood, which I find a little bit interesting. I mean, there is magical burst on the Fnatic side, for sure. The HP regen's not completely terrible either. Do you think he can just get an item at this point to maybe accelerate his farm more, though? Is that a possibility?
I think given how well he's done in his lane, I'm surprised I don't see him going for like a Midas. Midas is not a very standard build for Razor, but he's dominated so hard that you can't afford to take the next 5 minutes off.
This is the nice Carapace interaction. They get that first stun into the follow-up, but now Ohio just going to pop the Stampede.
Infused raindrops, dude. Saving lives.
Yep, 100%. Abed just continuing to clear camps, working on his drum. Envy also going to be going for a drum. You know, it's pretty no-frills builds from both of them, but definitely very effective. They're going to use the right-click very, very well. Just waiting on level 6 for DJ, I suppose. He can wait around for the tome, potentially, though they might give that over to the Slardar, given that Pi is only level 4. This is a pretty big smoke rotation. making its way top. They're hoping for the pick into the push, and Raging Potato, well, they just didn't quite get DJ there in time for the shackle on top of the bounty rune. So instead they're going to try for the backstab. Yeah, and yeah, Raging Potato looking like he might be quite dead. Unless there's a TP in, but like we talked about, the counter initiation from Execration is not great. Oh, Courier also coming through, but they just want this kill. Oh, yep, there you go. He's dead. Lumic arriving just a little bit too late to really do anything. He will be able to help hold on to this tower a bit longer, but I don't think that's really going to be enough. Yeah, they're even going to...
Notice how that this push has a siege creep in it. It's just, hey, they like, we got a siege creep coming, let's set up a gank in Terra Place lane. It's not a coincidence. It's meticulously planned out. Mid lane here, Yaj pops and dead on creeps.
Yeah, he wanted Pi, but Pi is just holding on to the tower. Ohio got linked up a little bit. He's now doomed. I don't know if he's gonna run this one.
What is he? Where is he going?
Away from the Razor.
Okay.
But yeah. Alright, there's that hood up on Nando. I guess he's gonna be getting involved somewhat soon. We'll see. The problem again for his team is setup. They have a little bit more lockdown from the Doom now that he has the ensnare, but it's still pretty much all on the Nyx Assassin to run in and get the first stun off, which is not going to be easy. Interesting build on the OD. Don't really see the drum that much, but Carl also kind of playing for the early game, I suppose, with between the Razor and the OD. So I guess maybe we'll see some moves from them soon.
Yeah.
They do definitely want to be able to fight these like Mass Serpent Ward pushes, right? Try and go in and get a kill before Fnatic are fully established.
Sure, but once the Mass Serpent Ward gets dropped down, I do feel like these heroes have a little bit of issue killing the wards.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, alright, Nando's got a double damage. He would like Pylai if he can get him, but again, lockdown is the problem. They're just going to scare off Pi a little bit. Who does have 1200 gold worth of progress, so like we were talking about, they've jammed the Centaur in the jungle and given Pylai the lane. Looks like Nando will be able to grab this tier 2, so going to be a deny. Ooh, Pi needing to be careful. Yeah, gets driven away and Nando will get that last hit. So Razor's big, but the question is, they now have to show that it matters, right? He's kind of done all the damage he can do at bottom. He's taken the tier 1, he's taken the tier 2. He's had as good of an early game as he kind of possibly can, and now he just needs to continue.
And he's got a
impact.
hood to show for it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know about this. The good thing about that hood is that it looks like Shadow Fiend's going for some sort of magic build. Has a Blink Dagger queued up.
Didn't complete treads either, suggesting that he probably wants BOTs.
So that the hood is going to be at least good for that.
But yeah, he could definitely have more to show for this early game instead of... Was he just got a drum? Yeah, he's got a drum and a hood. But he is leading the charge towards top. They are able to push into this tier 1, but the same is happening over at mid, and Fnatic also behind the tower, looking for a little bit more action. They have not committed the Mass Serpent Wards just yet, but as I say that, they get dropped down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, Execration looking for the backstab. Who can they find? Abed might get caught, but he's actually just running further in as they've actually managed to catch the OD with the shackle. Can he make it into the tree line? He won't be able to. Doom onto the Shadow Fiend. He gets stampeded away somewhat, but they will be able to finish him off with the net. That's a 3-for-1. Envy making his escape off to the left. Very nice backstab from Execration. And the ensnare actually coming in really useful from the Doom.
Yeah. Slaughter died to neutral. So
okay. Didn't catch that.
That's not too bad for Pi, but Execration could come right back and take that tier 1, and that's probably exactly what they'll do.
They've got the maxed out Liquid Fire. This is a little bit closer to the kind of timing that I thought we would be seeing from them in the previous game, with the just getting some early levels and then kind of running in. But it's working out much better this time, and they're actually really leveraging the Jakiro super hard. I mean, look at this, dude. There's already 4 towers taken. It's only 14 or 15 minutes into the game.
I mean, given that this is a Fnatic game, likely it will drag into a 30-minute farm phase, and then somebody win the game in 50 minutes.
Whoever loses the first lane of Rax, right? That's the trend. Okay, so DJ just queuing up his Aether lens again. Seems to really like this build. Get the Arcanes early, then switch over to Tranquil's lens later on. Farming it decently since he does have the maxed out Ether Shock at this point. Ohio is a couple hundred gold away from his Blink Dagger, which is definitely going to be a big timing for the team. But that's probably where this line, where the lineup really starts to kick in for Fnatic, right? Like the triple blink. Stumpy getting popped. Ohio running across. He's going to be okay. Pie's coming over. Is he dead? No, not going to get stunned. Lockdown problems rearing their ugly head once again. TB has an illusion rune, but no meta, so just some more farm for Envy. Oh, Lumic. I mean, they have the reflection slow to set up here. Abed just waiting for his blink to cool down. Yeah, he's gonna get raised into oblivion. Oh, gotta line those up.
Uh-oh.
Somebody hit him. Wait, what? Lumic's in deep. He's gonna try for the TP out. Alright,
okay.
Alright, Abed doesn't need to land any raises. You just blink on him and you hit him. But now he's stunned.
And then he dies.
Yeah, now
because he's in the trees. Try to style a little too hard there.
Yeah, that was a little bit. If he just blinked, he could have blinked up here and then raised down, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or blink up there till.
True. Yeah, the ultimate really did nothing. Oh, amp on the Razor. Let's test how tanky he is. Not nearly tanky enough. That's the Blink Dagger being unveiled from the Centaur as well. But I think he may have even died to... Oh no, Slardar actually had Crush on cooldown. So nice attempt, but that is a pretty big kill to be giving away at this stage of the game. Though the same can be said for that Shadow Fiend death. So just lots of stuff happening across the map. SF going to be going for a BKB afterwards. So it's not really a magic build. It's not really like a full right-click build. Just have a little bit of everything. Oh, they found Envy, stunning him up, and they're not going to give him the opportunity to get that Sunder off. Sanity's Eclipse going to pop him. Nice pick off for Yaj. Damage on the Doom has been amped up. Pylidai wants to keep this Blink Dagger money if he can in his piggy bank, but I think he's just dead to the tick.
He's dead.
Poor guy. Now we got the Doom coming in on the Shadow Shaman. Once again, it might just be the damage over time killing everybody off. The Requiem gets thrown out. The jump in. Abed looking for the turnaround. Couple more right clicks. Ohio, right place, right time. Every time.
Oh my god.
Abed double kill.
Dude, that was some Dendy level play. I say Dendy because he used to be the one that always goes for Blink Dagger first, Shadow Fiend, and just make plays like that. Requiem inside of tree lines and blinks immediately. Surprise burst damage, and then the raises to follow things up.
Yeah, that
Really
very
sick
much
play.
made up for the earlier whiffs on the Jakiro. We'll give him a clean slate for that one. But
Man, you're a harsh grader, dude.
the mistakes are even more impactful than the like big plays sometimes, right?
Sure.
Oh, Ohio after making some very nice plays of his own between the top kill and then turning up at the right place at mid, does get picked off by the Nyx assassin. So, yeah, it's doing pretty well. I like the Midas on Nyx quite a lot. You sometimes see people go like pick up a 4-staff or a blink and then go back for the Midas, but he's still been having a pretty good impact with the Midas first. So I don't want to say that his game is secure necessarily, because I feel like Nyx can still just fall off when the game gets later. Even with a blink, Impale is not the most reliable stun, so it gets pretty tough for you to play later on compared to Centaur, right, or Slardar, who just blinks and presses their W button and that's the end of it. Okay, we got a Pike on the OD. That's nice for him. The Spirit Vessel on the Doom that we've already seen has been doing quite a bit of work. He has the Speed Aura at the moment, which I think is quite helpful for the OD and the Razor. Razor also just going to be building up an S and Y, so trying to solve some of these catch problems by just being faster than Fnatic. Which,
Also
might
being
work.
tankier, which
Yeah.
is kind of the thing that we mentioned. Who's gonna sit in the front line here for Execration?
And I mean, Fnatic's. I guess the one thing that they're not lacking for this game is damage. So they should still be able to bring down their targets if they get the right initiation.
Radiant's
But
bottom tower is under attack.
the vision is going to be extremely important. Just never letting the Nyx assassin get a like a free 2-man impale. Gotta make sure that they have sentries down all the time. DJ poking his nose around on the mid lane. They got double invis, stun out onto one. Pylai is going to go for the blink crush. Abed's also just around the corner, going to lay in with the raises. Carl might be able to go for some kind of a save. Raging Potato still stuck in the middle of all of this. They do manage to kill off one. Raging Potato actually surviving here, gets imprisoned. That last volley from the wards is not going to do anything. Abed blinking forward, hoping that the raise would finish the kill, but now he may have overextended himself. Somebody doesn't have any mana left. Ohio diving in deep. Pylai with the follow-up crush. They only get the Nyx assassin kill, but the Ice Path locks him down and he'll be finished off. They go over to the shrine. Raging Potato still continuing the pursuit. The Doom has been used. Now Eternal Envy arrives. Lays in with the Metamorphosis auto attacks. Carl needs to be careful. He's still amped. He's taking so much damage. Lumic making big plays. It's only the 1 point up in the Ice Path. He's trying to juke around the corner, but Abed giving vision from the high ground. Knocks him down with the raise. Jumps over towards mid, and that will be the end of this fight. Nando, I guess, turning up a bit late or unable to continue chasing with the rest of his team. I don't know where he went. But this is big for Fnatic. They head into the pit. They've got the Slardar respawning. Head over. Will not immediately be able to amp it since they weren't able to pop the Lincolns faster, but this is still totally free Roshan for Fnatic, and that's going to be a big problem. It's going to negate a lot of the value of the Doom if they have the Aegis. Oh, they give it to the Terrorblade, interestingly enough. I thought they might give it to Abed.
I think this is fine. Terrorblade is really the one that's dealing the majority of the damage.
Yeah, God's gonna get imprisoned here. Pylai trying to make his escape off to the left. Stampede also gonna get popped. Can they save DJ? Ooh, Envy with the Sunder! I don't know if that's gonna be worth it. Can they keep DJ alive? Looks like he might still just tick out to the Spirit Vessel. Abed gonna stand his ground with the BKB pop. He actually blinks down onto the low ground. OD has a self-imprison. Hurricane Pike in a couple of seconds. Is that going to be enough to save him? Abed's just waiting. Chucks out the long raise. Finishes him off. Getting chased down now by Nando. Tries to switch down onto the low ground. He'll be finished off. They do end up losing Lumic as Envy re-engages into the fight. He did end up losing the Aegis. Pylai just waiting. Has the blink. He's super fast in the river. He's just playing some games with Nando. But overall ends up being a 2 for 3. We'll count the Aegis loss in all of that. DJ did survive, however, so I guess Envy got what he wanted.
I thought you said the Aegis was on Nevermore.
No, it was on Terrorblade.
Okay.
That's what I was confused about, because I'm like, what's the point of Envy having the Aegis?
Yeah, I think you should have went on Terrorblade or Nevermore rather.
Shadow Fiend.
Also, that's the hero. What? You're saying the same thing. I said Nevermore, right?
Yeah. I mean, sure. That's
Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, he's got his Lothars and yeah, it's getting picked off.
Lothar's a good item.
Yep. Do you think he'll buy Buriza later?
Buriza du Canyon.
Yeah, that
whatever.
What else? We shouldn't meme too hard. We've got actually a fight happening right now. Nando getting chased down somewhat. Not really able to turn around and fight. Both of his big lockdown heroes are dead. There's already Mass Serpent Wards getting dropped down at mid. I don't know if Fnatic were thinking that maybe they should have saved that for the high ground, but Meta has also been popped. Execration, I don't know if they can get even anywhere close to taking this fight, and yeah, they're just gonna let it fall. Raging Potato, what's he gonna find over here? He's gonna find a Blink Crush into an Amp. Tries to TP himself out. Is there gonna be a bash? Oh, they don't even need the bash, they just got the damage. Oh my god. Sutter pick's looking pretty good. Pie's just playing the 4 this game, dude. Check it out. He's got a Blink, he's got a Force Staff. This is some Fnatic versatility in action.
I mean, why? They could have just swapped the hero and
yeah,
done the
they could have.
same thing.
Yeah. But do you think Envy would have sundered to save Pie?
Of course he would.
He would have.
Yeah, they're like best friends.
Yeah, but you see the name Pyle die on your screen, and you're like, hey, just sacrifice him. That's his role.
Back in the yonder years when Envy was this kid getting bullied, Pi was his friend getting bullied with him. You know,
Yeah.
they're through thick and thin.
This is the anime plotline.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, at this point, Execration. What are you on the lookout for them? The Razor still has so much net worth, but I feel like impact relative to net worth kind of low. I mean, even kill participation relatively low compared to my expectations. I don't know if he's just been farming a lot, or it feels like he can't really engage into these fights the way that he's been hoping for, but yeah, it's just kind of...
What do you think about his item choice, Shiva's Guard next?
Well, he's decided against the Shivas. Yeah, as soon as you said that, Lumi, he heard you.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, maybe Lumi's right. Maybe Shivas is not the item.
Well, here he cannot mask his shame, right? He still has a plate mail
Yeah,
sitting in his inventory.
That's true. Oh, jump in, stop. Ohio always there. The Requiem Bomb comes in. Perfect combo from Fnatic.
That's Raxus, boys.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, or it's mass buybacks, but let's see if it's gonna be enough. Mass Surfboard's getting dropped down. Carl with the right click, stealing some int. Abed gonna pop the BKB and run. Threatening with some raises as he goes. They did not use the buyback on the Razor, so that was actually
Okay.
it was pretty nice from Execration. They use the lower value buyback and then still like shepherd them out of the base.
But
Ooh,
it's a fake back.
Fnatic with the Regoose.
Yeah.
Oh, who are they gonna find? They want this OD over at mid. They're gonna pop the ward up onto the high ground. That is an extremely long range ward placement from DJ with his lens. Doesn't even have the cast range talent just yet. Very, very close to that, in fact. Still 20 seconds to go on the Razor. Glyph is not back up just yet. Yeah, just gonna go scouting out. Does need to be a little bit careful. This is not... It's not an enemy sentry. It's actually a friendly sentry getting popped down, but Pi puts in a sentry of his own. They will be able to get the D ward. And Fnatic... Alright, just back to farming. Why not? Ohio's quite close to his Heaven's Halberd, which is gonna be insanely annoying for both the OD and the Razor. I really like this item choice.
OD in particular, when he can, build up his in and stuff like that.
Oh, they were looking for something here, but looks like Pi just gonna break the smoke, heads to the river, and he's long gone. What else has been going on? Envy's got a 10-second BKB ready to go. We did see Abed use a couple of charges earlier, so he's down to 8. He's buying a Lincoln Sphere. This what mostly for the... Well, there's Link, there's Doom. There's actually plenty to block with the Lincolns.
Yep. Lincoln's good item in this game. Meanwhile, we got a Yules being worked on by Nyx. I find that a little strange. Could get rid of the amp on yourself, but maybe they want a way to counteract against the Centaur ultimate. You see them running, you just Yules one up in the air.
Yeah.
Seems a little narrow.
Yeah. It's also the same kind of story for the Slardar, I suppose. If you can get it, if he blinks and crushes and then you Yules him, you can kill him. You're not going to get those repeated stuns. We're going to jump up onto the high ground here with the Mass Serpent Wards once again. Envy is going to pop the Metamorphosis. Still not really engaging too heavily, but I don't know how Execration even forced the fight. And they've actually managed to find Yaji. Doesn't even get the spike Carapace off. He's dead. Buybacks immediately. And now what can they actually find? Carl trying to keep them here. He does force staff himself back up onto the high ground. Envy getting locked down somewhat, but he's just going to pop the BKB. He does get doomed up. He's also being linked, but that should just be the opening for Abed to rain down damage. Kills off the Razor. That buyback is still available. He saved it from earlier. They need to try and commit to this fight if they can, but Envy's about to be unsilenced. Can they get this Sunder off? They won't be able to. Unable to deny him either. He's dead, but is that the only kill they're going to get? Pylai die. Looks like he'll also die on the other side. Not a completely clean disengage from Fnatic, but they forced, what, 2 buybacks?
They did.
Yeah.
They got the tier 3 as well, so they can open up the shrine for the next Roche. Roche is spawning really soon, so timing of it works out really well for Fnatic.
Yeah. So when's Roshan? Alright, still another minute or so. That's kind of unlucky for Execration, right? But there's no way you can bank on it being an instant Roshan respawn. It's just so unlikely.
Radiant are
So
scanning.
at this point, SF has his Shadow Rays damage talent, eyeing up his 40% cooldown reduction, I would assume. Any other item progression that really stands out? I guess the Hurricane Pike for the TB is actually going to be quite useful once he gets it. Oh, Execration are just praying for the Roshan respawn, but their prayers will go unanswered. Abed in the same position that he died last game, to that ward on the Tiny, is going to be a little bit more cautious this time around, just chucking out a couple of raises. Really wants to finish his Lincoln Sphere. There's a juicy Arcane Rune waiting down bottom. But alright, Roshan respawning now. And I guess we'll have to see how the positioning goes from here. The warding game from Fnatic has actually slipped a little bit.
Yeah, they got a lot of base wards, but I think those got dewarded since. So. By the way, it seems like Jakiro is working. What is Jakiro working?
He got half of an Atos, I think, because
Right.
of the catch problems, and now he's just going Crest. I think. I mean, he's still got the Talisman queued, but I don't know, Lumi. You're the analyst. You tell me
Tell you what.
what he's doing.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, Roshan number 2. DJ shackling from outside the pit. I think Abed should just go in there and hit it, but Envy's got more than enough damage. They did pop the meta for this. Yeah, he's just gonna pop everything and chunk it down. Once again, Aegis on the Terrorblade.
So you can swap his Shadow Fiend
Yeah, I guess.
instead of just having him respawn.
Yeah,
before.
I mean, or he could just respawn. But that's not the EU way. I guess he's also the one that's going to be just standing there with the Serpent Wards. But if he dies and comes back without meta, what's he do? Not much.
Probably don't use meta first, I guess. I don't know. I think Envy is generally fine these team fights. Again, you have to get Doom first, or else it's not really.
That's true.
even
It is like
Yeah.
a Doom insurance policy, right? If you happen to get doomed before you use your spells, well, it means that he can't doom him first, right? They have to like use the doom in a really weird way where he's allowed to get meta off, and then you doom him so you can kill him. Because you can't let him have the Sunder as an option while he's sitting there with the Metamorphosis.
Radiant's
So,
bottom shrine is under
framing it that way, I think it's actually a pretty smart decision. Also, the Shadow Fiend has his Lincolns now, so more difficult to find and doom him. Alright, Fnatic being pretty methodical about this, gonna clean up the shrines. Still not that much of a net worth advantage.
Radiant's bottom shrine
And
has
the
fallen.
OD is gonna get scarier as the game goes on, I think, especially once he picks up this Hex. That might help solve some of the lockdown problems, kind of. The Stampede's still going to be pretty annoying. But it also potentially solves the problem that they've been having of having to doom the Terrorblade to kill him. Or they can just
now
hex
you
him.
hex.
Yeah. Alright, well. High ground once again. TJ does have those wards ready. Nando has his BKB completed. Envy running in, just going to throw out the reflection. Takes a orb to the face for his trouble, but Carl actually doing a decent amount of damage to himself. Envy once again with the reflection, just chipping away a little bit. Now they're going to jump on the next assassin this time around. He does manage to get off his spiked
my
carapace. They
God.
burst down one. They've killed off the shaman. And now Abed forced to turn tail and run. His BKB is actually already worn off. He's the one with the cheese. Envy hasn't popped any spells just yet, but that's because he's actually completely out of mana, getting mana burned up. Abed throwing raises instead of auto attacks. As Envy is just about to drop, he sunders onto Abed, who now uses the cheese. Some dubious value, but it'll keep everybody alive.
It's fine. It's just pretend that he cheats himself.
Sure. Except now he still doesn't have any mana. Right? He gets a clarity. Yeah, it's like I got you. Don't worry. I've got my backpack clarity and salve.
Did he just run past the illusion room? What's happening?
He'll go back for it. He needs full
Alright.
HP illusions.
Okay, fair enough. And full mana illusions.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Carl gets the pike off. Keep running, friend. No, actually just hit him. Sure, yeah, go for it. Pilot die, I don't know why you would stand near the creep wave in that situation, but... Alright, free int. Carl not complaining. Do they try and go? I mean, Sanity's Eclipse is still on cooldown. This is not a terrible opportunity. Got that illusion rune working for Envy as well. I'm a bit surprised that they're not just charging bottom lane, but maybe they had lanes to fix. Though it does kind of feel like Shadow Fiend can be responsible for that. Pi trying to de-ward a little bit, running around with his gem. And they're still going to have plenty of time to spare to get down to bottom with the Sanity's Eclipse on cooldown. Got a Lotus on the Doom. Potentially pretty nice. Create the opportunity for the Razor to charge in a little bit deeper. Oh, Pi threatening. Lumic. Gonna check out the Ice Path. Does actually connect on the Centaur. He blinked right into it. He's still quite tanky though. They're gonna pop the BKBs and charge forward with the Stampede. Nandor just taking so much damage. He's just gonna get right-clicked down with the Amp. Wasn't able to do anything even with the BKB. Now Lumic also getting caught out. These stuns are just way too much from Fnatic. They've got the lockdown. They've got the damage. Yaj coming in, but it's only a stun onto one, and Envy's still looking A-okay. Rack's gonna get cleaned up. Razor does not have the buyback. And Fnatic probably know it. It's actually still on cooldown for another 30 seconds. Another Amp coming in. Shackle controlling Carl, who will be able to finish off DJ. His ultimate up in 10 seconds time. But Envy still just making such quick work of these racks. DJ even going to buy back. Starter looking for another Blink Crush. Actually completely out of mana at this stage. An attempted stomp. But, I mean, they're just creating space for Envy to chew through everything. 2 lanes of racks claimed. Finally getting some mana back off of the Aegis being reclaimed. And the Execration base absolutely in shambles.
Yeah, and they kind of just brute forced it, right? Like in the previous couple of fights, they kept trying to let me blink stun, blink Shadow Fiend, and they're getting too cute because they would spend like 1 ult on a Nyx kill or something like that.
Yeah.
But this time around, they just said, you know what? Let's just walk up the hill, place down wards, and we're gonna just push Hero off.
Burned up. They've got the Doom. It's over on the Centaur, however. That's gonna create the opportunity to, well, they do get the Imprison over on the Doom, saving him for now. Jakira gonna get crushed up. Everybody on Fnatic just trying to turn tail and run. So they might be okay, except for DJ. Oh, once again, Envy with the Hero Sunders. Doesn't have the Metamorphosis, so, I mean, no real opportunity for him at all to turn around and fight. That was pretty sick, actually. The Doom was used, and they got everybody out of there.
Yep.
But it feels to me like it doesn't matter how this Razor itemizes, there's just no way for him to stand in the middle of the fight with the level of lockdown that they have. Right?
I don't know. I feel like if he has like AC, Shiva's, BKB, SNY, he could stand there, but you know.
Maybe.
You need an AC on top of what you got already.
Yeah, just teleport one into his inventory right now. I mean, he's already got the plate mail, but alright, here comes some raise damage. Pops the BKB. Just gonna have to run for it. Pi getting another amp on him for good measure. Keep tabs. Ohio working on an Aghanim Scepter. The numbers did get nerfed a while ago, but I think still a very good item. Especially in this kind of situation where Execration are hoping to just like jump one person with the Nyx and then just blow them up with the OD. Or jumps one person with the Doom and blow them up. But Execration is still holding on. It is of course worth mentioning that if they lose this best of 3, they can still progress in the qualifier here for the Bucharest major, but it's not going to be the easy path. I mean they should be pretty good against either of the other 2 teams in the group, right?
Yeah.
AGV or Boom ID. So,
although we did see them go into a very long best of 3, so yesterday.
That's true. Nyx. Okay, so he didn't finish the Yules. He went back for an 8th lens. Now the Yules is completed. He's got his level 20, opted for the Spike Carapace damage. I don't know. The Nyx is just... He's gotten a couple of good kills this game, but to me this just feels a lot like offlane Nyx in general. Just, you kind of get a couple of pickoffs here and there, and then your late game impact is nowhere near that of a Sand King or a Slardar or a Centaur. Something like that. Maybe they picked the Nyx to try and pressure Abed's hero pool a little bit, right? Figuring that they'd force him into, you know, not picking some int mid that was going to be dealt with nicely by the Nyx assassin. It didn't really work out that way. And Fnatic seemingly content to just keep on farming, wait around for the next Roshan, and go from there. They've been super disciplined this game. I have to commend them for that.
I mean, you just definitely wait for the third Roche, right? And then you just walk down to the tier 4s, double ward it, and call it a day. Just don't let them steal the third Roche.
Yeah, that's what happened to them last time, and it did not go well. Yeah, they're constantly shoving lanes. So Shadow Fiend is level 25. Yep, he does. 40% cooldown reduction for him. Queuing up a Hex shortly after that. So all the lanes going to be pushed by a 27-second BOT cooldown. Yeah, I don't know how Execration break out of this. The other problem is that even if the Nyx assassin finds somebody, the rest of his team isn't that well equipped to follow up. Like the OD, maybe he's got a blink, he can kind of get in there, but just with the way that these lanes are getting pushed, the effective range that like the Nyx can scout past the wave position is not that much. Pi is constantly scouting, looking for wards with this gem. If you switch it over to the Radiant Vision, like, all they've got is this Observer ward, that kind of Tinker ward up on the high ground,
Radiant
and that's
are
it.
Scanning.
And yeah, I mean, that
Now they're using Scan to see if they're getting ganked, but literally only Pi on their side of the map.
Yeah. Abed's just everywhere. He's got his Hex now. The Roshan respawns. Alright. It's go time. There is still a tier 2 up top, so they gotta deal with that, but...
I mean, they don't even have to go for Megas. They could just...
Do you think they can just go do what they did in the first game? Put some wards on top of the...
Probably would be harder because it's not Ags, but... they'll go for the safe thing, I guess.
Alright, what's the buyback situation for Execration? It's not good. It's very not good, Lumi. It's just Nando. This is like a one pick off wins the game kind of situation. Of course Fnatic don't know that, but yeah. Pretty dire straits. Doom's got a BKB, but I mean still only the one Doom to use, and there is a once again the Aegis in the hands of Mr. Eternal Envy. Cheese is... Where is the cheese?
Let me check. Not on the hero. It's on the courier.
Nope.
No. Somebody sold it for
someone sold
500 gold.
There you go. Alright, Envy's got a Scotty. It might have been him actually. Finishing up that big ticket item before they go high ground. Alright, I'm gonna switch it off the buyback status because it's just the Razor, and this Terrorblade is going to town from a million miles away with a double damage. They're gonna jump in, but they immediately get the Hex up onto the Doom. They blow him up. He's gone. And now DJ just gonna lay down the double wards. They charge it into Nando. Eternal Envy laying waste to everything. Abed finding one more snipe on the other side. He's gonna try and line up the Rec Room for some style points. Does get interrupted. Carl able to re-engage. Eternal Envy with the ultra kill. Can he get the Rampage? He wants Nando. One more hit'll do it. There you go.
Nope.
Eternal Envy ending the game in style. And with that, Fnatic will be moving forward here in the Bucharest
Double Rampage?
Major.
Oh.
Maybe still. Is it in time? No, the game's already over. Alright. So they move forward into the next round of play here for the Bucharest Major SCA qualifiers. As mentioned, Execration not down and out just yet. They do have another opportunity to play. I think that when's their next game actually?
I
think
could
that's
check in a.
I think that's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, tomorrow we only have one best of one, or best of three rather. Let's see.
Well, it looks like the schedule is moving. It's shifting around us, Lumi. There's.
It's evolving as we
yeah,
speak.
yeah, as we go. So, it looks like Boom ID will be playing Execration tomorrow at some point. And then also Group B has Team Flash versus Geek Fam. I guess if they're both scheduled at the same time, we'll be doing one of
The
those
winner,
two.
probably the winner.
Yeah.
We'll decide then. We'll decide.
Well,
then,
we'll figure it out. We'll make sure that you guys get some good Dota. But yeah, everyone's trying to resolve scheduling conflicts at the moment, so I'm sure everything's going to be a little bit touch and go. But good job, Fnatic. I like their draft a lot this game, though. I think I liked their game 2 draft quite a lot as well, and that didn't. Oh no, the game 1 draft, right, where it looked like they might have lost, and then it came back, and then we thought they'd won game 2, but they hadn't. But this to me was the most solid of the 3 drafts that we saw.
I thought that the Terrorblade could have maybe got punished a little bit harder. It was the second pick, yet to me there weren't enough counters.
Yeah, that's true. They picked it very openly, and they kind of picked the Jakiro, and I don't think that necessarily did enough. Do you think the game would have been very different if Nando had been maybe a little bit greedier with the build and aimed to scale more, or do you think this is just like there's just matchup problems here?
I always. Okay, on paper, it's like, oh, no, the Razor couldn't, farm enough because he wasn't greedy. But I feel like if you do go greedy, this lineup could actually just push into your base very quickly. Remember that top gank where Terrorblade went with a siege creep, they wrapped around and they got a tier 1 very fast?
Yeah.
They could just do the same thing and just push into your base and get a early Rex. Shit that they find the Razor being a little bit greedy. So yeah. I think it's hard to say.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is that he was supposed to be setting up for the OD to be like the big carry. Right. It just so happened that he got a super free lane and they took the tier 1 and the tier 2 really quickly. But in terms of what his job was supposed to be for that game, it definitely seemed like they wanted OD to be the big late game damage dealer, and Razor was just kind of there to scout and frontline. But that's going to wrap it up. We have, as mentioned, more action coming your way tomorrow. I'm sure that there are actually other qualifier games going on right this second. I'm going to go to the watch tab. Yeah, there's more Bucharest Major qualifier stuff going on. Looks like EU has started. So I'm going to encourage everybody to go and check that out. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Lumi, any final thoughts before we let everybody go?
No, I'm good. Looking forward to cast more SCA Dota tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see you guys then.